thought experiment. Many of you have watched that. And one of the things that kind of kicked that off was when I was heat hardening, because I was using a heat gun, right? I took just the tippity tip, clamped it in my, or on my shaving bench, right? Then I took this measured piece of wood, block of wood. Because this was clamped, I was able to block it up right at the handle, right? Then I hit it with my heat gun. And that's why I was thinking partly of just taking one of these things and having like this form cut out and jamming it in here. I think it would probably work. And if it doesn't, then I could have like just little clamps on the tips that would help. I'm doing this on them to help jam it in there. No big deal. Now, if fire hardening it, right? And I had clamps over the tips, no big deal. I could just take clamps off. For one thing, you're shaping the tips afterwards, so you probably won't even notice it. I have my paddle bows clamped into a form when I fire harden it, and there's clamps on the tips, and then, I sand them and stuff like that. So it's really not any of a thing. Or just take a heat gun after you over another source of heat / fire, got clamps on the tips, then just take a heat gun and finish them off. But yeah, I think it might work just jamming this thing in here and then fire hardening it, just not even having the tips clamped, but we'll see. If it doesn't work, then I'll just clamp them. If you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, just look at the last short I did in a thought experiment. Now, look at all this stuff that came. 10 packs, count them, 10 packs of Sinew. I kind of cheaped out. I only bought 4, saving on shipping, but I'll go through this stuff pretty fast. I've got a whole bunch. I've got a pack, a herd of these things in the house that I'm going to Sinew back. And so I'll go through those pretty quickly. I loves me some Gullwings. And again, I set them, some people might say, well, it works definitely with Osage. You don't necessarily have to even deflex the limbs with them, because it adds a lot of reflex. But even though this, I'm setting this on the workbench, and it'll tip. You hear that? Because when it's set on the workbench, one of the tips is up in the air when the other one is touching. So there's some reflex in this. And when I Sinew back it, it'll give it another 3-4 inches. So never fear. I'm still going to say it. I'm still going to say it. I've got hickory. Made from trees. Tree hickory. Not kiln dried. Not from boards, but actual real hickory staves. So let's see that. I'm theatrical. As John Lovett said, I think it was John Lovett, I'm a thespian. I'm excited to do some actual one-to-one reproductions of hickory unbacked horse bows. I mean, it's just, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. Speaking of pounding sinew, I've got a little rental house here, right? And I have to say, I thought that 2 people, there was a person was renting it, and then she moved on to get a house with central air, because it can get kind of hot here. And I know people in the South are saying you have no concept of heat, and you're right. Michigan hot, northern Michigan hot. She moved out, then another woman moved in. You don't appreciate what you have till it's gone. I mean, they never socialized, but they were quiet. And then, like a 20-something guy that works in the mine. Yeah, lives in the mine, underneath the mountain, chipping out with his friends, the dwarves. Now he works in the calcite mine, the limestone mine, right? What do 20-something-year-old guys do? They have parties out in the yard. I never knew how irritating before cornhole was. I'm not a cornholist. First of all, Mr. Cornhole, you need to change your name. It's a horrible name for a game. I'm playing cornhole. I hate it. But I never knew how irritating it was. Smack, smack, smack. And what do you do when you're a 20-something-year-old guy? You invite your friends over and you drink beer in the yard and you get loud and you swear a lot. Well, it's just smack, smack, smack. And I'm not in the neighbor wars. But maybe I should be pounding my sinew at 7 in the morning after a night of them playing cornhole. Tap, 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 tap. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's holding my clamp onto the step ladder so phone doesn't fall off. My 3-pound sledge. Sinew, rock for hours. I think I might ride my motorcycle to work and not go out the driveway, but go right by their house this morning. Boom, 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 boom. The loud one. On to other things. This is what I mean. Oh. Osage. And this was split. And looking at the ends, I do not believe that this has all those little micro splits running into the stave like if it was left around. This is 78 inches long. I can't cut it in half and get 2 lengths. Good for horse bows. I could probably get, if I cut this, 2 long bows. I could, it's wide enough for 3, but I might not get any if I try for 3. And plus, when you're splitting, I wouldn't saw this. I would probably split it. Probably get 2 long bows out of this, or a whole bunch of horse bows, but with a wasted end here. All this waste. And Phil, PK, was saying, what about knife handles? What do you do with this? If I was to cut it for horse bows, I would have 20 extra inches, which if I jointed it to handle, I'd have less than 40-inch bows, because you're using some inches, so it's one of those instances. How can I maximize this thing? And the same one with this. I don't have one big chunk of Osage. I've got 2. What do I do with the extra? If I make horse bows out of them, I can do it deep ways too. Split it. Got the width for horse bows. I can split it thickness and get more horse bows. And so I can get more bows out of these things making horse bows than long bows. So I probably will. I'm a horse bow kind of guy. So what do I do with the extra? Phil was knife handles. I mean, Osage is a nice wood. But I'm thinking, helados. Helados. I look kind of like Robin Williams there. Helados. That's the plan. But yeah, I'm just going to stare at these things to think of what to do with them. Boy, Osage is so freaking expensive now. And I've got more. I've got a couple big rounds. And hopefully, well, the problem is, if I was to take, and this one's fine, take a big round of Osage and I'll split it. After it's dry, you get all these errant cracks. You'll see cracks running in this. And when you look at them in the ends, they run deep. Osage is a very, very tricky wood. If you get it, gather it, cut down the tree, split it. And take the bark off so bugs won't get into it. You need to take some time with your newly harvested Osage. And prepare it so it's not wasted. Just saying. The next thing is not bow related. It's like why I'm just so, oh boy, I feel it. So I did St. Ignatius Catholic church just down the block, couple blocks. It did single stump, and boy, I was in and out of there less than an hour, and that includes downloading my stump grinder from the truck, grinding the stump, cleaning up, raking, getting rid of some stuff, making it look pretty, putting the stuff in and out less than an hour. And so it's like, you know what? I said I'd do it for $120. I'll do it for $80 because it took 40 minutes, and that's unloading. It just went fast. New teeth are a beautiful thing. Now I can got 50 hours out of my last teeth. 50 hours of stump grinding. I have 8 teeth. Pay $79 for 12 new teeth, right? So I've got a half a set out of that $80. Free shipping. And it's almost not worth, sharpening them. I'm going to keep my old set for rototilling because with a couple different kinds of trees, you'll get these mats of roots spread out on the surface. I'll just pop my old teeth. It takes 10 minutes to do a tooth change. Put the old teeth in, and then just use it like a rototiller, because the thing is a beast, rototilling. Yesterday, man, I did Catholic church in Onaway, Michigan. Beautiful Onaway, Michigan. Picture this. There's a sidewalk, right? And then they had like these landscape kind of areas going along next to it, probably about 4-5 feet wide, and then timbers, 4x6s or 4x8s timbers. So you got the sidewalk, you've got this area for landscaping, then you got timbers on the side, and it probably goes, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 feet. And they had trees, just 3, fortunately, in each side. So there's this landscaped area, tree, 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 and on the right, as you're walking down the sidewalk, another 3 trees. Went out there, bid on it, because we ate at Shiny Bear, which is Trade One's restaurant, but they got this big statue of a shiny bear out there. Another side. So went there, said, this is how much I'm going to do this for. But landscape fabric. That entire area was like landscape fabric around the trees that had growing weeds and stuff like that. So there's like weeds holding the dirt to the landscape fabric, right? And on the ends, they had used everything. There was OSB that they had covered and then buried with dirt. It's horrible. And this is the first time really I did stump grinding with serious amounts of landscape fabric. And let me tell you, if you were into stump grinding and you go to an area with landscape fabric, I mean extensive, not just a little bit around the tree, which is no big deal, but just an extensive amount, walk away or charge double. It's horrible. You pull it up and it piles dirt. It's heavy, so you're shoveling to get just access to the roots or the stump. And there's an added bonus when you have an area of landscape fabric and then you've got a bunch of dirt and weeds that are growing through it. Again, horrible. What happens with the trees is that instead of the roots going more or less down into the earth, they're underneath the landscape fabric. So not only do you have the stumps, but you have to chase these big roots that are right at the surface underneath the landscape fabric. So there's like so much chopping with an axe, using a shovel to pry and trying to figure out where those big surface roots are, and then the little ones holding them so you can't pry them up with the I feel it. And I did the dumbest thing too. It took a certain amount of time, and I kind of figured I'll bid, and then takes less time or more time. Well, it took overall a little less time. I would have made a lot of money on that because I bid it, with the landscape fabric, and I was like, because I did have a volunteer helping me with the landscape fabric. Again, it was horrible. So I knocked $45 off of it. I should have just kept it. They agreed to what I asked. Why? Oh, why did I say I'm going to knock $45 off? I should have taken every single cent I could get, because landscape fabric is bad. It's Bad, bad stuff. What else am I going to talk about? Well, I think I've talked about everything. It's about 6:30. I need to make some breakfast. It's pleasing shape. Show me your war face, Private. I like that. One of the greatest movies ever made. Full Metal Jacket. Well, that is all. That is enough.